everyone, welcome back. Today let's do some hands-on on AWS SageMaker. So head over to AWS Amazon.com SageMaker website. Here you see try a hands-on tutorial. Click on this. So in this you will see there are multiple hands-on examples, tutorials. If you just go through them, you will understand. If you execute step by step, you'll understand many things. So the first module is for data scientist. By role, if you see for data scientist. So first one I'll skip. This is for majorly for label creation, which we also do, but this is not relevant in many of the cases. I'll start with this and then continue posting the videos on remaining topics till here. So this is the I think this is the fourth video. The first video we understood about SageMaker. Second video we understood about how to create account, and then third video we also understood about what is domain, what is role, and also we ran a getting started notebook. So in this video, let's build some model, locally. So click on this. So it says 15 minutes to complete, and it is straightforward, amazing tutorials. So it is last updated on July 7. So let's see. So what you'll accomplish here, you ingest data from Amazon S3 into SageMaker and build and train XGBoost model locally and save the model and artifact back to S3. So this is what we're going to do in this tutorial. So before that, you need to have a AWS account. I've also created a video, separate video. I'll link to those videos in the description. If you don't have, please create account. And once you have a account created, you need a domain and a user. So domain is a workspace where to execute your code, to save our artifacts and code. So that's where domain is. And you also need a role to, on behalf of you, SageMaker should be able to execute or read the data, write the data to S3 and many other things. What is S3? S3 is a simple storage service where we store the data. So let's do it. The first step is to choose AWS Cloud Formation Stack link. So here, what is AWS Cloud Formation Stack? Here to create this, right? So they are asking us to just click on this, and then there is an option to create. Sign in and then click on create stack. What this does is, so this, if you see here, what this does is this creates a template and all the resources required to execute what we need to execute these examples. So what is basically it has is it's a JSON or YAML template which defines whatever is required to execute. What is that called? If you see here, cloud formation. Cloud formation is basically it's an infrastructure, or what all the resources you require, right? You describe in the form of YAML or JSON file that will be provisioned by AWS to you. So it's, how does it look like? So you don't have to manually go and do many things. Let's say you want EC2 of this type, you need S3 of this much size in this region, you need any services, or you want to execute, right, and combine together. You can either go through CLI, AWS CLI, you can go to console, or there is also another option which is mostly people are using nowadays, which is this AWS Cloud Formation. They have got amazing templates. You can just use as is, and then it works, and you have to customize according to your need as well. But in this case, we'll copy as is. So we just click on this. So automatically this will give us a minute. Give me a minute. So this is, I'm here. Once you click on, I already have created that. I'll show you what exactly I have. I already have this template, same template, AWS Cloud Formation Stack. If you just understand what is AWS Cloud Formation, if you just Google, right, you will understand. Even if you read the wiki document, AWS, so you will understand. It's a service provided Amazon, enables model manage infrastructure resources in an automated manner. So if you see here, developers can define and provision AWS infrastructure resources using YAML and format. So it's like basically infrastructure as code template. So what resource you need, you specify in the form of YAML. This is what it does. What does it contain? Once you click on this, right, it will help you to create. The steps are given here. So the steps are given here. You just have to acknowledge. It will automatically do. I already have, so it's already complete. Let's see what exactly it contains. This is the URL, stack information. This is resource. What are the resources it creates, right? It creates role, different apps which are required to execute our job. So it is described in the YAML. How does YAML look like? I'll show you how does YAML look like. This is the YAML. This is how the YAML looks like. So it creates a role. If you see user, it creates a user. User as in who needs a permission to execute resources on behalf of you. SageMaker should be able to execute, read the data, write the data to S3, any of the actions which needs to perform. So this is the user. Domain is, as I mentioned, domain is a workspace, shared resources where user can execute his code, he can save his code, Jupyter Notebook and all. That's where the domain comes into picture. So you can go in detail what exactly user means, what exactly domain means. I have explained in detail in different video. So I'll request you to please go through that. So once you create this, right, once you create all of these, it takes almost 10 minutes. Just wait for it. So this is where the URL, if you click on this, you will get it, what I'm trying to say automatically. So you can click on this, automatically it will come. So this is the description, and many other informations are there, resources, output, parameters, template. This is how if you want to see the template from here, this is how it looks like, the same template which I showed you, right? Just now the domain and the user I showed in VS Code. There are many other things. Make sure that once you complete your entire running of this exercise, come and delete this. Okay, so wait till it got deleted, or else all your resources, basically it is launching all these resources. It is going back and launching all these resources. You'll be charged for all of these resources. So please make sure that you delete this. So one way is to manually launch all of these, or you use these kind of templates where you are letting AWS to create all these resources on behalf of you, and you are giving all those instructions in YAML or JSON file. That's nothing but CloudFormation stack. Okay, so we're good here. So once you do this, right, just head over to AWS console, search for SageMaker. So once you get a SageMaker, right, you will get something like this. Click on Studio. Once you click on Studio, you will see here create a SageMaker domain. Do not create any SageMaker domain until you see a screen something like this. So basically it will create a user. Again, I'm saying do not create any SageMaker domain or user. This will basically you are already creating that information through this template. So you don't have to create. Wait for some time till it gets created. Now you may see it is not created here. I just kept it for you, so to see how it looks like. Once you refresh this, right? Once you refresh this, keep refreshing, you will get this kind of screens. And then what you have to do is you can launch a SageMaker Studio right now. So once you click on this, basically it has created a user, it has created a domain. You can click on Open Studio. This is one way of doing. There are many ways. You can go to different ways to start the studio. But what is Studio? SageMaker Studio is, as it's already mentioned here, it's IDE, Integrated Development Environment for machine learning. So once you click on this, so you will get a Jupyter. After some time, you have to wait. All these steps takes minimum 10 minutes. You have to wait until you get this screen. Once you click on this, again you will be head over to this place. This has already been covered in my previous video. So what exactly this looks like, what exactly this template is. This is if you see getting started notebook also, you'll understand this has already been explained. Request you to watch. Right now, let's quickly jump over to what they are asking us. So before that, I'll just walk you through all files, right? All files, informations are stored here. there are different apps which are running. You will see there is nothing running here. After sometimes you will see different things will be running. So I'll walk you through. So before that, let's say what they are asking us to create a new notebook. I'll say create a new notebook. Here you have to choose image. In the description it is there. This is nothing but Docker image which comes pre-installed some of the libraries, and then you also need to choose a kernel. And the instance type is the machine type which you want to execute. So click on this. It will take a little bit time. I'll walk you through before that. So where I am right now, I completed this. Imagine. So they have given a clear instruction here as well. So we are here. So you can also go to Studio and then click on Studio app here, launch app here. You can also do like this, and then notebook. This is where I did just now, and then data science and Python 3. This already I just now cleared, and you will see something like this. Kernel is attached to your notebook in a while. So this you will see no kernel here. It will be attached in a while. Meanwhile, what we'll do is we'll install some of the libraries which are related to this is Boto. So for mostly related to S3 and so basically Python SDK to deal with S3 and many other AWS services. So majorly to upload the data and all. XGBoost for the modeling. Let it run. Let it run. Hopefully it is still. So you see here. Let's rename this. Before that, what basically we're trying to do. So we are basically trying to automobile claims. So who are all did a claims, right? It's basically classification, machine learning classification model. So let's who claimed, who not claimed. It's a binary classification problem. So I'll take this name, I rename it. I'll go here, I rename here. Okay, let it come. So you will see all the apps here. They will once it is done. So you will see all the apps will be running here, and we'll come back here. So let it run. So here we already know what exactly again now we pandas you already know. If you're new to machine learning, it's a different topic altogether. If you already know machine learning, so pandas you already know it's for data transformation, data reading, data crunching. This is the most famous and mostly used library, Python in the open source library in the data science world. So Boto 3 is as I mentioned, Boto 3 is for the Python SDK. SageMaker is for Python SDK for SDK meaning software development kit related to SageMaker. JSON you already know. JSON is for reading and writing a JSON file. This is for model saving, and this is job_lib is for model saving. XGBoost is for it's a machine learning model. So where you, as the name itself indicates, a boosting model. There is also a concept called bagging. It's a boosting model where you sequentially train weak learners, which are decision trees majorly. And we install this. It's already installed here. In this step, we'll install. And then this is for area under the curve metrics evaluation, where you plot, you take a true positive rate and false positive rate, and then try to, the better the score, the better the model is. So this is what it does, and then let's see if this has, yeah, it's there. Okay, let's come back, and then anyway I'll explain you what exactly I'm trying to say. I'll copy this as is. I'll not modify anything. I'll copy as is and then paste it, shift enter, let it run. I'll go step by step here. So let me read this instead of copying everything. Let me go through what we are doing. So I already explained you each and every line here. I'll again go here. I don't know why it's scrolling down. Okay, so this is to establish a connection, right? Session is to establish a connection between notebook. This is where you establish a session for doing a transformation, for for training a model. All of these related to SageMaker. So this is the object you require. So that's the reason you create session for connection establishment. So here with this session you get a SageMaker region where it is getting executed, and S3 region name where exactly it is there. Using Boto 3, using session you get the region name, and here you get a S3 location there from this library, Boto3 client S3 region name. You attach that to S3 client. So basically, you will understand in a while why we are using all of these. So related to role, what role we already know what role we created. We created, in the template, that role. Okay, so here this is where the data reads. So set the read and write S3 bucket. What is S3? S3 is a simple storage service. So as of now, if you see, let me just open S3 as well parallelly. If you see here, I'll just open S3. You will not see anything here. Hopefully, I've deleted the previous buckets. Previous buckets are nothing but the folders. Yeah, there is nothing here. So what I'll do is I will run this. So what is doing is it's basically reading the data. This is where I'm reading the data. So Amazon has its own list of open source data set. So it is basically reading the data from, if you see here, S3 read bucket. What is read bucket? This is the bucket name. And training data. Where is training data key? Here is what read prefix and train. So basically you are reading this data, which is again this data. So basically you are reading this data on this. So it's the open source data. Training data is here, testing data is it's provided by Amazon. I'll show you what exactly that data looks like once we read it. I'll come back here. I would recommend you to execute step by step, understand what exactly it's doing. These are all hyperparameter tuning which are related to machine learning, cross validation stuff. So let me just come back here. I'm just copying step by step. So here number of boost around how many sequential steps you need, and this is for class validation. You need a threefold. You play around with this threefold, two for training, one for testing, something like that. You play around with this threefold techniques, and then you stop to avoid the overfitting. You stop at early stopping 10. These are all related to hyperparameters for machine learning. If you know XGBoost or if you know hyperparameter tuning techniques, you will understand what exactly this meaning. So I added those. All right. I added all of these. It should be execute. So now let's read the data. So this is where from you. This is from Amazon. So this data set, if you see here, let's see what this data is. Data.head. Head is a function. So let's see what data. So this is the label. Fraud is a label. So claim fraud, maybe it's related to claim fraud. Let's see what exactly this columns are. It has a fraud, vehicle involved, injuries, witness, all of this, police report. So maybe it's related to who overall did an insurance fraud, not. So we can see the distribution of the variable as well. So I'll just say plus tab. Yeah, okay. The value counts. Value counts is a function which is not here. I'm just seeing that, okay, these many fraud, 126 are the fraud cases, and then 3,883 are non-fraud cases. So you can also see, you can also mention true. If you do that, it will give you percentage wise. So majorly are the non-fraud, and nearly 3 point, right? So 3.1. So they are fraud claims. Now, nothing. The objective is not to explain those. So here you prepare a data set here. So what you are doing is, this is D matrix is for data matrix is for, well, it's like a pandas only. Data is here. If you use this matrix to train a model, it is it's better than NumPy and all. So it's well optimized to train, memory efficient, and faster training happens. That's the reason they are using this one. Converting the normal regular data into D matrix. That's all. And this is cross validation. So this is to avoid the overfitting. Before training, they are doing cross validation to avoid the model overfitting. So and then they are passing the same parameter which were done before, and then you see these metrics here, the results of this, which is if you see here, if you see this is the result, they are taking the last values, they're checking the last values for cross validation and playing with all the all these the folds, which early stopping, all the hyperparameter which are being used here. So they're just applying to understand the model doesn't go overfit. So this you can print it. This is what they are doing here. Just printing it, printing the lost values, right? So this is what they're doing. Okay, these two are values. Yeah, it's maybe round off. That's the reason you see 0.9. All right, so this nothing happened till now. Just now they are reading a test data set here, test data set. So which again, this URI is from the public S3 bucket. Now let's copy here. I'm going a little fast here. You can I believe you can follow when you actually see the video. So let's see. And our good part is it's the official document of AWS. It's not designed by me, it's official. This is where the training happens, the training of the model. I'm just copying here as is. This is the training of the model happens on the data set which we pass, and then there are many other parameters which we have defined above. So this is what we use to train a model. Oh shit, man, sorry. Why is getting called? Now once the model is trained, I can use this to predict, right? And then save the print the results. That's all. So here it says train AUC, area under the curve. The better the results, the like it near the one is better the model, which is AVC is the decision between true positive and the false positive rate. So the test data set it is 0.85, so which is very good. So that's all. This is how you develop the model. Basically all the model training and testing is done. So now what they're doing is, now you have they're creating a file called metrics.json, and then they're dumping locally. So locally meaning what exactly locally meaning? If you see here, there is nothing here. There is only one file here. Locally meaning here. Okay, here in this location, this file system, there is nothing here. So when I click on this, so you see here metrics is this. Metrics data is not defined. Metrics data. Okay, let me just copy this, which is here, right? Okay, after this I'll copy this. Basically they are just saving that file and then saving the model. That's all. So this is saved here. Now what additionally they are doing is and then printing, which you already did. Additionally what they are doing is they are also writing the output to where? To S3. So with the session object, and with using S3 Boto S3, so they are writing the data to S3. So if you have seen here, there is nothing. I don't have anything here. So if you see here, let's see if I have any buckets. No bucket. Oh, I think I have. Okay, there is no object. Let's see what I get. Let's see, I don't have any data here. Okay, so based on region, based on account, right, how it has taken. So basically what it is doing is, I was able to save here. So here these files will go to S3. Here what bucket, so this above we have defined. So let me copy here, let me copy this, execute this. So after doing this, you will see in a while, you will see the data in the model, those data. Yeah, so you see here the model file which was saved there is here now, and the metrics.json is also here. So this is how you read the data from S3, which is the public S3 from Amazon, and then you write it to the this is private. This is my own own, which is tagged to my own account. So how does this define? So if you see here, they have defined, reading and writing here. Where do you write? Model key, model output. This is where they have defined this. They have taken the session here, if you see here. So this is all, and the name. So what is the name you should attach? This is how you read and write S3 bucket, and location, where do you read. So that's all. We are able to read the data from public S3 and write it to my own private S3, or if you write your own private S3. And now the time to clear the resources. So please note, this is very, very important step. First step is, see, if you see here, all your apps, whatever you mentioned, right? This is this is the image. This is the machine which is running. This is the notebook which is running. So all you have to do is file, close and shut down notebook. This is the first step you have to do to clean the resources. Once this is done, click on this, shut down all. So basically it is stopping all the machines. Okay, this is shutting down all the machines. And once this is done, go to S3, delete this. Okay, permanently delete all of these. If you are not using S3, to a certain extent it is free, so nothing to be worried, but still I would suggest you delete these resources if they are not in use, if you are not using. All right, so you delete. It will not allow unless. All right, so let's delete it. So I'll copy this, delete permanently. So this is little tedious process. So they have anyway given this, delete all of these information, and you should come here finally also delete this. Okay, this is how you clear all the resources. Please make sure that it has deleted. You may get a warning, to close some of the apps or something like that. Yeah, if you see here, I need to close. Maybe I get, after some time, I may get again the warning that it can't be deleted without closing the app or something like that. So make sure that it is still, it just initiated, but it is still in a process. So please make sure that it is not there here. A deletion failed. So let's see. So there is something like it is running. Okay, so you will get something like this. Click on that and make sure that you delete. Now it will delete if there are any temporary missing informations are there. So if anything load is still in the holding in the object is still there, so it will not delete. If some objects are getting locked, so it will not delete. So make sure that you clean these resources, delete all the required stuff. So that's all. This is very easy tutorial from AWS SageMaker. The idea was to not explain XGBoost here, not explain anything related to technology part of machine learning, technical part of machine, but to explain about S3, how these dots are connected together, and then how do you get started with SageMaker. This simple tutorial. So next video we'll see the furthermore tutorials of SageMaker. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video.